my goodness, my friends, it is so good to be back. I have unfortunately had the crud that's been going around, feels like for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I wanted this video to be a bit of a recap of December and then a house tour of our cottage. It's just a mini tour, but it is going to be fun to come along and see some of our before and afters and currently. But first, I wanted to recap December. It was a fun-filled month of serving food, decorating for Christmas, doing all of the fun Nashville Christmas things, which include Cheekwood Gardens, Gaylord Opryland Ice, and something new to Nashville, and you'll see that coming up. But I wanted to share with you just some of the things that we were able to do in December. So this is actually Cheekwood Gardens. It is a huge property that at Christmas time they do a beautiful display of lights, and we took the family and had a really fun night. To cap off the night, we visited the newest addition to Tennessee, a California favorite, especially mine. It has great family memories for me. But In-N-Out Burger came, you guys, and you can see how excited I was. I'm still pinching myself. We've gotten to visit a few times now, but I'm still pinching myself because it feels so much like home. And the lines have been crazy, but it's just so much fun that it is here in Tennessee. And I had to share it with you because this was our first visit. So much fun. A lot of people, tons of people, but just amazing. I got a glimpse of Santa in one of our downtown shops. I got to install some Christmas for another family, which was so much fun. There was all kinds of baking, vintage shopping, which I've shared before, a little bit of snow here and there, more decorating, some time with friends that was so much fun, and the Gaylord Opryland Ice exhibit that we got to take the family to and make lots and lots of memories. I think I may have even caught the crud from the crowds there. Not too sure, but came down sick right after the visit there. But I got to see one of my favorite Charlie Brown Christmas displays, and it was so amazing. All of this was carved ice, and it was nuts, even down to Snoopy's doghouse. Just crazy. Multiple baking days. These are my favorite chocolate chip cookies to bake. I'm pretty sure this was being baked for a party that my son had at his house. This happens to be one of my favorite things to set up, and it is our Polar Express train, along with some of my other absolute favorite Christmas items. As we begin 2026, I want to reflect on the fact that 2025 had its ups and downs for sure. The holidays didn't really look the way that I expected them to. There were a lot of non-traditions that ended up happening due to illness, plans that changed, and so I wanted to kind of touch on that because I think, when we see all the beauty and the prettiness and the fun and all of the things, we may kind of sweep under the rug the fact that there are disappointments and there is illness, or things don't always look exactly the way we thought they would. And honestly, that happened for me this year at Christmas time. I think as we start this new year, um, we can reflect on that, but as we go into the new year, be expectant of how God's gonna work in our life this year, how He'll use us. Um, my husband and I were leaving our church service, or maybe it was on the way to church this last Sunday, and have missed so much because of schedule changes and illness and things like that. And on our way, it hit me that it was the first day of what I called our gratitude tour. And I don't want that to sound cliche, like, you know, gratitude and positivity or anything like that, but like true gratitude for our lives, what our lives look like, even if they don't look like we thought they would, or even in the midst of disappointment or heartache, there are still things to be grateful for and thankful for. And I want to go into this new year with that mindset. Now, even the beginning of 2026 did not look the way that I thought it would. I spent the first couple of weeks in bed, honestly. But, you know, there was videos I wanted to make and things I wanted to do and things that I was kind of dreaming up. But I think it's important to accept, you know, the way things are going. And that's kind of what I've just grabbed onto, is that, okay, it is what it is. Now let's start now. Let's start from where we are now. And I don't mean new year, new you kind of thing. I just mean, like, what does it look like? What are we meant to do this year? I was really inspired by another YouTuber that was speaking about the importance of wintering and how, you know, so many people are in such a hurry to, you know, make their vision boards and to kind of get this perfect life, starting at the new year. But how really the way that our seasons were meant take a hold of how nature, and we see that nothing is blooming right now. You know, things are dormant, things are in hibernation mode. The animals are, you know, not coming out the way they do in spring. That it is actually time to slow down. I was forced to slow down because of illness, but, you know, just being grateful and thankful for the time we're in, the season we're in, and just living in the now. And if there were disappointments, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like we might gloss over things that have transpired or things that are really going on under the surface because we're looking at all the beautiful things. But I want to acknowledge that I know pain is real. I know disappointments are real, and relationship difficulties, things like that. But there's so much more to look forward to this year. And I try not to dwell on those negative things necessarily, but just to look and see, like, the healing that has taken place in my life and the good things that have happened in my life. I'm about to have a new grandbaby in the next few weeks, and there's just so many things to look forward to this year. So I want to encourage you that if the holidays were hard, we acknowledge it and we move forward and we look forward to what this year has to hold for us. And I hope that just this little taste of our cottage might inspire you, but also, like, the reality. You know, there are before and afters in all of our stories. And sometimes they start out pretty scary looking, but it doesn't have to end up that way. So I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much for coming along on our little cottage tour today. And I can't wait to see you again for more cooking, hospitality, and home decor ideas.